So far this month, we have been talking about creativity. Every child of God that wants to succeed in this life has to be creative. And the reason why I said every child of God is because some believers might think all it takes is only prayer and fasting. No, that's not all it takes. So anybody in this world, whether you're a Christian or not, if you want to succeed, you need to be creative. But I want to narrow it down to believers, Christians, because you need to get doing, so you have to be doing something. You have to be. And there is nothing wrong with working for another person, but while you are working for another person, can you fulfill your own purpose? Can you find a need and reach out to meet that need? And for some people, you would never stop working for someone, for some people. So there's nothing wrong with working for somebody, for an establishment, that's what I mean. All right? But in that arena, can you find a purpose, find a need, and reach out to meet that need? Do you know there are bankers that own real estate, but they didn't stop being a banker? There are nurses that own farms. It didn't stop them from being a nurse. They are a nurse because you have to be smart sometimes, right? If you don't have the mind, the effrontery to just run off and start doing your own thing, because it takes a lot of guts to do that. You can have a backup. I like backup. Let me shock all of you now. Do you know I have my Uber app still on? It's been a long time I did Uber, but I still have it on as a backup. Because my kids have to eat. What if? What if? A dear man of God says you have to anticipate. You have to have backup. So there's nothing wrong if you're working for an establishment, all right? But while you are doing that, you fulfill purpose. Look for a need. Reach out to meet that need and make money from it. Hallelujah. Or rather, and also make money from it. So we know that you should have a backup plan. So if you have a job or you're looking for a job, that's good, okay? We also have backup plans, all right? And your backup plans might not necessarily be working for a company. It can be anything. I just told you one of mine. That's just one of. I have a lot of backup plans. I can clean too, and I can cook. So in case tomorrow you just hear Joe Blue Catering Services, don't be surprised. All right, there's a lot of backups. All right, so, but one thing for sure is if you're going to succeed in wealth, financially, in this world, you have to be creative. Find your hand doing something. We looked at that and we said God is the one that can give you witty ideas for witty inventions. So look up to God, you know. Whatever idea you're thinking right now might not even be it, or might be it already, but I'm just saying, might not be it, right? And then you might just be like by yourself one day, and an idea will drop in your spirit. Write it down. That might just be God. All right, that might just be God. And when you write it down, work on it, and eventually you would see the result. God gives you ideas for witty inventions. And then we also moved into that you create what you see. So whatever you want to be, however you want it to go, start seeing it. Once you have the idea, start envisioning it. Start planning it. Put a framework to it in your spirit. Pray about it too. Plan it. See it. So that when you start, nothing is going to stop you because you already saw it. If you didn't see it working and you didn't plan and put down sketches on how it's going to work, when things start going the other way, you will chicken out because you'll be like, well, I think there's no way here. But if you already saw the way, then there has to be a way. Do you know in America you can do anything and succeed? Do you know in America you can open a business now? Don't do it though. Do the one that God tells you to do. But you can open a business now where you just clean people's shoe in the morning. In the morning. All you need to do is just go to their homes and clean their shoes. Do you know you can succeed with that? You can be a millionaire doing that. Just cleaning people's shoes. All you need to do is do a framework well and get this idea get yourself to the front of people who will need you to clean their shoes. There are people that clean their shoes is very hard for them. You can't tell me somebody who makes like $2 million a year that clean his shoes. I mean, some people still clean their shoes, but you get what I'm saying, right? If you now go and study the art of cleaning shoes, my God, if you package this thing very well, the art of cleaning shoes, they now talk about different kind of dust that can be on the shoe. You now write a whole book, and your website now says a lot of things about it. My God, they will hire you. Even people making $200,000 a year will hire you to clean their shoes, because when you clean it, it will come out sparkling. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can sell anything in this America. You can make money with anything. You can even make money with water. You can package your own water as the best water, and you will make money. So what am I saying? You can do anything and succeed. Don't be scared. When God gives you an idea, don't be scared. There is money in anything that you can do. There is. Okay. So we looked at that so we can see it, and then we said God makes you skilled for service. So whatever skills you have, you've learned, you know now, it's for service. God makes you skilled for service. So we're going to continue from there. So God is one that makes you skilled for service. So let's quickly go to James chapter 1, verse 5 to 8. James 1, 5 to 8. James chapter 5, chapter 1, verse 5 to 8, sorry. James chapter 1, 5 to 8. I want us to read these together. One, like people that are alive, please. 1, 2, go.
If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will give it to him.
If anyone lacks wisdom, what wisdom here? The wisdom to solve a particular puzzle. So you get an idea, but you don't know how to go about it. Remember, God is the one who gave you the knowledge for witty inventions. But you lack wisdom on how to execute or how to even judge any case. This wisdom is not the wisdom that came to you when you received the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is wisdom. But now it's talking about when you talk about wisdom now, it's talking about the idea to run it. How? The technical know-how. Maybe one day we'll look into the words again. But believe me for today, all right? If any of you lack the ideas on how to run it, let him ask God, who gives to all what? Liberally and without reproach. This translation would not explain it good, so I will explain it to you. When it says liberally and without reproach, it's talking about he gives to all freely without partiality. God did not give Elon Musk a bigger wisdom than anybody else. And I'm using him because he's the guy on top now as far as wealth in papers. All right? So, and you get the story through that, and I love him so much, and I don't mind him remaining the wealthiest in paper, But I'm just saying that the same God that gave Mr. A the idea and the wisdom to make wealth is the same God that's going to give you. And the same measure he gave to that person is the same measure he's willing to give to you. He gives to everyone liberally. And he's not partial. So don't think, some people think that God created some people to be wealthy and then some people to be very poor. No. Everyone chose their destiny. Everyone chose their destiny. Where you were born into is not your fault. But what you become is your fault. If you look at the wealthiest people in this life, they did not come from wealth. You understand? Go and read their bio. The guys that came from wealth thought it was easy. So, I'm going to eat daddy's money, I'm going to eat my grandpa's money, and then that's it. But the guys that really strived and became creators of things, they didn't have a good background. They had a very poor background. So your father and your mother being poor is not an excuse. The reason why people don't strive to become great in life is because they want to blame their parents for their everything. Oh, it's because my father did this, that's why my life is like this. Because my mother did this, that's why my life is like this. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if you have seen people like that or you're like that. If you're like that, don't be like that. Don't be like that. Change your mind now. See what I'm saying? So, where you are now is as a result of the decisions you have made before. If you want a better tomorrow, make good decisions now. And start working on your decisions. Become a better person. And stop blaming daddy and mommy and uncle and auntie. Oh, they didn't help me. They did this to me. They didn't. Don't worry about it. They have done their part. God bless them. Move on with your life. If not, you will remain at the bottom for the rest of your life. And you're just going to be blaming them for nothing. So if you lack wisdom, if you lack the idea on how to run and execute what God has placed in your hands, what do? Ask God. He will give you like he gave to everybody else, and he doesn't do any partiality. He's not partial. God is not partial. The God that gave one can give the other. Everybody is God's child. Everybody is God's child, if you're born again, of course. And if you're not born again, God created everybody. Everybody. And he wants you to be his child, you know? All right, so let's look at the next. Was it only 5 that's there? Okay, it's 5. Okay, so that's good. That's good. I think. But anyway, verse 6 says something about when you ask without doubting. All right, you have to ask without doubting. So ask him. Let me tell you, the problem with some people is that when they ask God for this wisdom on how to move in certain things, they want the answer right there and then. Like as they are talking, you should talk back. It doesn't happen that way. Most times, of course. You know, sometimes it might happen that way. But when you pray this kind of prayer, give yourself time. Forget about the worries. Know that God is in charge. And somehow, you will just see yourself doing what you're supposed to do. And it will just work out. Sometimes he doesn't even have to talk to you. He will just order your steps. You know, there's a song that says, order my step. Lead me, guide me every day. Something like that. So he will just order your steps to the point where you just do that thing and it will just work out. And you will think, oh, you won't know it was God. You prayed for it. Then instead of telling you an idea, he moved you to do it. There are many things we are doing today, even as a church. Many things that we are doing today, even as a church, that if you ask me, I don't know how anything is happening. I don't. Look at me teaching. Look at how attentive you guys are. I don't know anything about it. It is God that's doing his thing. You get what I'm saying? Some of you probably think, oh, this guy, he must be planning his teachings. He must be doing like study to teach. You know how some of us do? And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Where they just spend endless nights trying to plan for today's service. I don't do it. Anything you're hearing now is organic. You don't want to be eating everything organic. The word too is organic. I didn't plan it. Anything you hear me say today is not planned. Anything I've said so far is not planned. And that's how it happens every service. Because God that did it yesterday, he's doing it today, and he will do it tomorrow. And that's why sometimes you hear me say, oh, I got up here and what I was going to say, I thought I was going to say, I didn't even say it. And still the Spirit of God moved, even sometimes even heavier. Anyway, so if you do need that wisdom, what? Ask God. He will give to you. He will give you that idea on how to move things forward, how to push your business forward, how to push your whatever you have created forward. All right? And then, we're going to, what I just said now was actually to conclude Thursday, but because of our time, we couldn't conclude that. Today, let's look at why did God give you these ideas for creation? Why? Why is God interested in giving you ideas for creation? Have you ever thought about that before? Okay, God is going to make me wealthy. God's going to give me ideas for witty inventions. But why? Why? Look at Genesis. Let's start from Genesis this time. Genesis chapter 12, 1 to 3. Genesis 12, 1 to 3. This one says, now the Lord had said to Abram, get out of your country, from your family, and from your father's house to a land that I will show you. Do not overwork. Oh, that's the wrong. Sister Blessing, please. You're supposed to put from verse 1 to something. Help us with that now, please. That's why you didn't put the verse 6 for James too. Please hurry up. It's supposed to be from verse 1 to verse 3. James was supposed to be 5 to 8, but leave James. We have passed that place. Just help me put the verse 1 to 3 for Genesis. Thank you. When you do it, let me know. So while she's doing that, how many people know about Abraham, his story? We should know his story, right? Abraham's story. So Abraham was not Abraham. His name wasn't Abraham. His name was Abram. In his family, they were all idol worshippers. He was not a God worshipper. All right? They were all idol worshippers. But God saw his genuinity. I'll explain that to you. So you see, there are some people that go to the wrong gathering, but in their minds, they think it's God there. So they really they have a good mind, right? They have a good mind, but they're there thinking everybody have a good mind, but everybody don't really have a good mind. That was Abraham's thing. That it can also be likened to Cornelius. You guys know about Cornelius? Cornelius was the guy of the law, but he was a good guy. He gave to the needy, he gave to the church or the synagogue as at the time. But one thing with him was that he wasn't saved. So no matter how much he had given, have you done it? Thank you. No matter how much he had given, right? If the trumpet still sounded, or at least his own rapture happens, maybe he dies, he will have still made his way to hell. Why? Because he wasn't saved. So, but because he was a good man and God saw his heart and he was a giver, salvation did what? Salvation came to him. So that was the same thing with Abraham. Next time we look into that, I just brought that story because we need to take that time. Anyway, now the Lord has said to Abraham, you see Abraham now, get out of your country, from your family and from your father's house to a land that I will show you. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you, and in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. This is going to solve a lot of people's problem now. This is going to solve a lot of people's problem. So listen to this. For those of you that think that you are cursed, and for those of you that think somebody has the power to curse you, the day you became a child of God, how many people know we are in the Abraham's loins? Abraham was the guy who helped us see what righteousness was. So now that you are righteous, God is telling you, like he told Abraham, I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great. Leave verse 2. We'll come back to verse 2. Let's go to verse 3 to explain the curse part. Verse 3, I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curse you. So you see, if you are a child of God, you are no more under any curse, because anybody who opens their mouth, he sends this back to them. So as a child of God, don't be scared of any curse. Anybody can do any curse they want to do. It's on them. Are you understand what I'm saying? As a child of God, nobody can curse you, because you're now his child. So what will God do? You don't have to pray about it. You don't have to say every curse coming back to saying that's a waste of time. As a child of God, as a person is laying the curse is going back to them. You don't have to do anything about it. All you need to do is just be a child of God and believe this thing. That's all. So as a child of God, if somebody had cursed you and you feel and you believe that person cursed you, that's why it's working for you. Stop believing it now. Stop it. Don't believe it. I tell you, long time ago I used to eat in the dream. And I thought that every time I ate in the dream, I thought that, oh wow, they have come again. My evil people, they have come, they have destroyed me. Oh my God. And I'll start praying, wasting my time and effort. Then one day, the truth came to me that if they gave you food in the dream, that's wonderful. Wake up, if they didn't give you water, drink water. They stopped bringing the food. I'm still waiting for the food. They stopped bringing it. Because they knew that if we do this, he will feel under. We can oppress him. So because of my lack of knowledge, every time I ate, oh, my life is over. I'm about to die now. Oh, God, help me. Every enemy in my life, I destroy you. They knew. Anytime a Christian prays that way, the devil is happy. You think you are doing something to the devil. You are not doing anything. Because he knows that for you to think that you are in a fight with him, he has won the first fight. The day I stopped believing that nonsense that the devil can hurt me, he stopped coming. And then when I started teaching people, when I started telling them about being thankful to God for he has done everything, they said because I don't have a problem. They don't know where I'm coming from. That's why. The more you believe that the devil can touch you, that's the reason why he's touching you. A child of God is above principalities and power. If you gave your life to Christ 2 seconds ago, the devil seizes every right to touch you. Do you know what happened when you gave your life to Christ? Jesus paid the price. There was a price God paid. Jesus paid with his blood. That means you are legally a child of God. You are legally free. That means you can walk in the middle of the night where the demons are having their meetings, the witches are having their meetings, and they cannot do anything to you. You can actually chase them away from that junction. Because you are rightfully a child of God. They can't do it. Once you believe what I'm saying now, your life will change. I'm telling you. Anyway, that was in the course of today's service. Before we go somewhere else, let's go back to that just has to be, God just wanted to do that. So somebody definitely here needed to hear that, or maybe online. Believe what I'm telling you wholeheartedly. Hi. And you just look at few weeks later, you'll be like, wow, like that? I'm free just like that? I'm telling you. Anyway, I will make you great. Why is God making you great? He says, I will make you great. I will bless you and make your name great. And what will happen? And you will be what? A blessing. So the reason why God is making you great, why God is going to give you ideas of witty inventions, is so that you can what? You can be a blessing. So if you are doing fine and you don't have people you are helping, then you have not started at all. You have to have a roster. Now, you young people, I want you to start thinking about all the people that have ever helped you in your life that are older now and put them on a payroll. Who can do that? You can't. Everybody has ever been there for you that you remember. Write their names down when you get home. And start thinking about what you can do for them. Start becoming a blessing. Then start thinking about how you can help people in need. Maybe in America, maybe in other countries, maybe third world countries. Become a blessing. That's why God is going to make you great. Yeah. You want to be great? Start thinking about being a blessing. Become a blessing. In your capacity, of course. Don't borrow to be a blessing. In your capacity. See, this is the thing. Some people will be like, well, but I'm not making money right now. It's not about making money right now. If it's in your mentality, see, this is how wealth works, right? If you have a responsibility, money will come to solve it. I've been there before. I've been broke before. If you have a responsibility that you know that you have to do, the reason why idea to make money is not coming, or make wealth is not coming, is because you don't have a responsibility yet. You are still feeling like, well, they're going to take care of it. Well, I don't have, nobody should kill me. Nobody should bother me. I mean, the Bible says that only give when you have and be cheerful about it. No, that's not what he said. He said you should give and be cheerful about it. He didn't say only give when you have and be cheerful about it. Don't twist it. It's actually when you have, though, But don't make it seem as if, well, so I don't have now. So you just shut off your brain. I don't have and I don't think I'll ever have. You see what I'm saying? No. Pick up a responsibility. I want to do this. I want to help this person with this. I want to make sure this person's life is good. And I'm sharing this because it has worked for me. As little as I am, I know people have trained through college, not high school. I mean college. Like we have paid their tuition from beginning to end till they graduated. Some of them are graduated. Some of them are still there. How are we able to do this? We don't have 20 heads. We just took on the responsibility like, I think this person needs help. Let me help this person. That one needs help. Add them. Okay. And then when you do that, God will just bring an idea. You will just be surprised that the same thing you're doing, an idea will come and you will just make more money. And guess what? Nobody gives to somebody when he's still hungry. So if your plan is to give to somebody, of course you're full. That's why you give to somebody else. I'm teaching you principles that can blow you up in no time. All right. Let me, because of our time, Proverbs 23 verse 4. I want us to read this together. You know, I said this scripture some time ago, and I said, don't worry, one day we'll look at it. Today is the day. We'll look at it. So that you don't think that these things are not, maybe I'm just using idea to rumple the scriptures to like just fit in. But let's read this together, please, with a loud voice and as people who are alive. 1, 2, go.
Do not overwork to be rich because of your own understanding. Cease.
Yeah. Don't overwork yourself don't work because you want to be rich. That's the wrong reason to work. That's the wrong reason to invent anything. That's the wrong reason to produce anything. That's the wrong reason to open a business. That's the wrong reason to chase money. It's the wrong reason. If you chase money because you just want to be rich, then you have missed it. You have missed. People who chase money to be rich, they don't get rich. Do not overwork to be rich. You want to be rich. The next thing you are taking 3 shifts. You want to die before your time. Body needs rest. My guy, rest. Make money with ease. You can make money with ease. Do not overwork to be rich because of your own understanding, because of what you think. Oh, if I just put in 7 hours, 7 times 35 is what? You have multiplied it. So 7. So if I do 14 hours, 7, then that will be 7 times 35 times 2. 35 times 2 in parentheses. That's 7 times 70. You see what I'm saying? And then let me work on Sunday. Why are you not in church? Oh, I went to work. Why? Because on Sunday they'll give you double, not a time and a half. No, don't do that. You can never be rich that way. I have a very dear sister of mine. She was just working and working, and sometimes we won't see her in church. She's working and working. Then about October of 1 year, I asked her, I said, my dear, I don't want to call her name. Don't know her. I said, my dear, you see this work you are working? December 31st, I want to see your savings. Because you will work, and by December 31st, you realize that there's no money in the savings. So what happened? Does it mean if you did your regular time and still serve God that you were going to die? Because the more money you make, the more bills that you're going to have to pay. Of course, when you work that way. But you see, when you do it the God way, the little money you make will now become very enough to solve all that problem you think will not be enough to solve. I told you about a girl that came from the UK to America, and then she heard about tithing with all the whole talk about it. And I'm not preaching tithing again today. One day we'll look into it because it's a very interesting topic. But she decided, her reason for not giving her tithes, and just so you know, in the Old Testament it was payment. In the New Testament it's a giving. It's not a payment. You don't owe anybody anything. All right? So, because Christ has paid all the price. All right? But let's see this, right? So, the reason for her not giving was because she looked at the money. This money I'm making. If I pay my house rent, I pay my car notes, I pay my insurance, I pay this, it's only going to be money for me to just feed that's going to be left. So she has calculated her life. And if she live that way, she'll live that way for the rest of her life. And after she retires, she will now hear Mwe. Somebody say Mwe. All right. So now, guess what? When she now got that tight message, she said, like, let me try it out. I believe God. So she did not try it out because God will give her more money. No. She tried it out because I think this is the right thing for me to do. Let me just give it. She said when she started giving her tithes, that she realized that the money she thought was not going to be enough. Every month end, it was enough and there was extra. How did it happen? That's why I was telling you that money is not the paper. Believe me. It's not the paper. There's a spirit of money. There's a spirit that controls money. Anyway, let's keep going. So do not labor to be rich. So why should you labor? Because it says don't labor to be rich. So why should you labor? Because you're supposed to work. I told you that God will only bless the work of your hand. But don't work or overwork yourself because you want to be rich. So why should you work? Ephesians 4:28. Let me solve the puzzle today so I can rest. Because every time I tell you I'm going to tell you something, I think it was bothering me. Some people know me now already. Once I start something like this, until that thing I see the end of it, I don't rest. All right. Let's read this together again. Please, like people with the Spirit of God in them. 1, 2, go.
Anyone who has been stealing must steal no longer, but must work, doing something useful with their own hands, that they may have something to share with those in need.
Have you seen why you should work? He that's stealing, steal no longer. Don't defraud people. Don't be planning. Some people are in their houses now planning how they want to give you formats so that they can collect money from you. They'll call you now and tell you that their kidney got stolen when they were sleeping. So that you can send them money and they can buy another kidney. Or maybe their mother swallowed a knife. Maybe somebody threw a child threw a knife and next thing enter her mouth and she swallowed it. So the doctor need to open her stomach now and remove it. So you need like different stories. I mean, we hear many stories. So that's why I'm saying some of them. I've heard all these stories. Don't defraud people. Don't try to defraud people. You will never be wealthy that way. Anyone who has been stealing must steal no longer, but must work, doing something useful with their own hands. So find something to be creative. Why? That they may have something to share with those in need. So the reason for your working from now shouldn't be for yourself. The only person that can help somebody else is somebody that's already full. So start thinking about somebody else. That automatically makes you full. It's a principle. So don't only make money for you. Think about somebody else. That's why maybe in a few weeks we'll do our relationship seminar, right? That's why I have a problem with a man that shares bill with the wife. I have a problem with it. I'm not really happy with it. People say, oh, do you mean that the man should only bring his money and the woman should be eating her money? That means his money has her money. I said, no. A good man that married a good woman that God have ordained or that God supports, if the man is putting all the whole bill, you'll be surprised at the way the woman will be passing a check to you because she trusts your leadership. I mean, women, tell me if I'm wrong. You know, I'm not a woman. But if a man is taking care of you and you're a good woman, so first of all, see, am I a good woman? If a man is taking care of you and you're a good woman, you won't have a problem with telling your husband, honey, baby, anything you call your husband, and say, my check, that's where it is. I mean, some married people here can testify. Some people have already testified to me. I'm not going to call their name. Yeah. So I have a problem with that. So even as a husband, take care of your family. Don't see yourself as, don't take care of yourself. Start that way. I'm giving you husbands league, men league. You, if you have not had children, your wife, maybe your wife will be your first recipient of your philanthropy. Just think about, when you're going to work, think about your wife, and see how God will bless you. Then expand it. Look at other people that have needs. Let me give you, everybody know I'm from Nigeria, right? I'm Nigerian. I'm not from Nigeria, actually. I'm from Zion. Sorry, I forgot. But I was born in Nigeria. So you see, I know people there. So anytime I go there, and our church headquarters is there too, right? This is just a branch. So anytime I go there, I'm a free giver. I know how to, my hands are very open. All right? And it's almost causing problem. You see? What am I saying? Because of the way I've positioned my mind to be a giver, anyone that comes to me and say, I need help, I will just help you. Sometimes we could even know that this thing you are asking for, we know you don't really need it. But so that it won't be as if we gave everybody else and we didn't give you, just take your own. There are some people that will ask you for money in front of the store. Sometimes you're not sure what they're going to use that money for. If you have it, just give them. Let them carry their wallet and go. Just be a giver. Don't give your blood. Jesus Christ has given his blood. Give what you can give. But it should be in your mindset to be a giver. And don't be selfish with it. You know, some people give. I'll give you a story. And this is not to pull anybody down. But there's some people that give and they purposely giving you so that God will bless them. Don't be like that. Just give because of love and because that's why you should work. Well, I'm working. I have extra. Make sure it's extra too. I have extra so that I can help people in need. And then when we want to talk about money, real money, then we can now talk about which one is extra. Just to balance this teaching now. Extra is not after your bills. Okay, let me spend 2 minutes and that will be the last one. We'll continue next time. So when you make money, however you make your money, 100% of your money, if you are spending over 40% on bill, then there's a problem with your future wealth. So 40%, about 40% should only go towards your bill. All right? 60%, go and save it. Remember, this year, what are we doing? Saving. We are saving. So 60% go and keep it in savings. So if your house rent is 80% of your income, you are living in the wrong house. So. Shall I say that again? If your rent is 80 to 90% of your income, you are living in the wrong house. Go and rent the house as yours. All right? So, and if you need further clarification, see me. We can talk privately. But 60% of your income should go into savings. So that 40% is where you're going to do every other thing. Every other thing that you want to do. And when I mean 100%, after you have removed your tithe, after you remove your tithe, that whole money that's remaining, or actually, let me not say tithe, before they drag me online. After you have removed the one that's for God, the remaining one is the 100%. So from that remaining one, let me be very gracious today. Maybe as we go, maybe 2 years, 3 years later, we'll make it 40. Let's do 50%. All right? But it's really 40. So that remaining one, that 50% for now, should go towards saving. The remaining one is the one you should do everything with. Both helping the poor, helping yourself, doing this for this one. So I'm not saying that you should spend all your money helping the poor. Because what's going to happen is that after 20 years and you retire, it's those same poor that you help that will come and be laughing at you. Ooh, you are in America and you couldn't even do anything for yourself. The same people. So you have to be smart. Maybe one day we'll talk about that. Just wanted to balance that up, okay? So that you don't have to be doing something else. So what is our take home today? If you need wisdom on how to execute any of your plan, ask God. He will give you the idea. The ideas are there. I just threw some idea now. It comes to us like normal, you know. Just that God is pushing us away from business, kind of, you know. But it's still there. We still have the idea. So you see, ask God. He's going to give you the idea on how to run that business, how to run that creativity that you're going to go into. And also, don't do anything because of yourself. Do it for others. Make money not for yourself, but to help others. That's why you should make money. Because if you are shooting to help others, the worst rather that will happen to you is that you will help yourself and help some people. It's a win-win. But if you are shooting to only help yourself, the worst that can happen is that you can just be hungry sometimes. So which one do you prefer? Because in this life, there will be evil days. The reason why some of us, we don't see evil days because we plan ahead. So let's assume the evil day was supposed to be about money. Because the devil is very tricky. All right? So let's assume this is supposed to be about money, right? If the devil now bring that evil day and it's about money, because we have planned ahead and we are not only making money for ourselves, our own bill is not even, we don't even know if we have bill. Abi Sarah, do we know? We don't know if we have bill. She's my sister. But she understands what I'm saying, that's why. Our evil day, it doesn't look like evil day because we plan ahead. Just imagine the devil brought evil day for money. The money that we are looking at is not the money to pay one mumu bill. We don't even know when the bill come out. from the account. We don't know. So if you are trying to do evil day because of money, the devil has failed a long time ago on that. A long time ago. Because the worst you will do with the evil day is that you will just deprive somebody else from being blessed. Maybe we're going to bless 100 people. You deprive like 5 because it cannot affect more than 5. We'll still bless 95. And those 5 is because maybe they are following them from the village. The demons following them are too strong. So, in your work of life, in your daily living, make sure it's not about yourself. Don't be selfish about it. Some people have lost a lot of opportunities because they were self-centered. Don't be self-centered. Make sure you're looking out for other people, and you will see the blessings of God. You will see it. God has already blessed you, but you'll be able to see it and partake of it. Rise up to your feet and let us pray.